It's been a minute. But why is it that when it comes to a black woman, a woman of a darker skin complexion, it is frowned upon for us to have a bigger or a stronger personality? I'm talking destroyed me. Is she mixed? No, she's black. Girl, what? I've always been that girl. A little nasty, a little ratchet. You start to see your money affected, yeah, you gonna care a little bit. You gonna care. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, girl, yeah, being told no don't feel good. Oh, I just want to be seen so bad. Yeah, girl, yeah, actually I do want to be seen because that's my job. I'm still here. How do you start a business and have marketing but don't want to pay the influencers? Please, your business will not be up for very long. Let's talk about it, baby. It's your girl, Taylor Patrice, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It, baby. Let's talk about it, a place where nothing, and I mean nothing, is off limits. And today, we have a lot to unpack here. You guys, I am so excited. First of all, y'all like the new tagline? Do y'all like it? It's growing on me. Let me know in the comments below if you guys like the new tagline, because we used to talk about like stuff that would happen on the internet, and so it was, what was it, www, that's right, the World Wide Web. And today we have a lot to unpack here, but we don't just talk about like what goes on online. And I'm changing like the direction of my podcast, because although we might talk about some situations, y'all, that is not what we're talking about over here. We're not going to just be talking about the tea. Like, we're going to be talking about like growing as an individual and like using those situations potentially, you know? So let me know in the comments below if you guys like it. Also, y'all, it's been a minute. I feel like I always get on here and I say that, and I know that I do. Like, I know that I do. I'm starting to become one of those influencers that I hate, like that just pop up every blue moon. That is starting to be me, but it's not finna be me no more. Like, it's really not, because I really have to pour into myself. But in today's episode, as I'm sure you guys can tell, we're gonna be talking about a lot, because I feel like this is part of the reason why I'm always so worried about how I am perceived. And not that I just like care 110% about what other people think, because I am me. But at the same time, like, there's a time and a place for everything. And when you choose to use your personality as your career, like, sometimes things can just get a little tricky. So we're gonna dive straight into this topic, y'all, because I have a lot to say. But before we do, how are y'all? How you doing? Mental health check. I know 2025 has been such a crazy year, and I'm right here with y'all. Literally, I am right here with y'all. Like, can we pay attention to the nails? Like, if this doesn't describe or define crazy, I don't know what does. My lashes, girl, I'm getting them done today. So if you're busy focused on my eyelash and how they don't match, yeah, I know. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's get right into this topic. So today's topic is being a Black creator, the pressure to work 10 times harder. And obviously, this doesn't just apply to being a creator, right? It applies to being a Black woman in general, and we're going to talk about some of those things here. But because I am a content creator, because I am an influencer, I am in this space, I have been in this space for 10 years, which is so insane. It is so insane, because like, again, if you guys are just now finding my channel, hey girl, hey, but like, I don't have the success story that most people do that have been doing this for 10 years. I have been growing slowly but surely. And, you know, sometimes it's just easy to play victims, you know, or be sad or upset or compare yourself to other people that have been doing this. And you're like, well, I mean, am I just not meant for this? The crazy thing is, though, like, I know deep down in my heart, not even deep, like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I also know that there is a reason why I did not grow as fast because I had a lot of things that I needed to learn internally, and I needed to grow with myself and be confident in myself, and that's something that like I didn't have, and it probably would have destroyed me, like I'm talking destroyed me, if I was popular or really known at that time, and I was having a whole bunch of people like, you know what I'm saying, critique me, judge me, you know, do all the things that people are going to do on the internet, because I wasn't confident in myself. I didn't know myself. Like, I lacked so much of that. It's not even funny. But I also want to talk about how it feels to be a dark-skinned Black woman in this space. And it's also so crazy that I feel like people wouldn't even consider me as dark-skinned. Because, like, growing up, people considered me as dark-skinned. Granted, I feel like I was a lot darker. I must have been outside all the time because I truly was a lot darker. But y'all get it. A darker skinned woman. Like, you can look at me and you can tell that I'm Black. There is no question as if is she mixed? No, she's Black. So first, let's talk about representation and visibility and the difference between being included versus being truly seen. Let's talk about the beginning of my career. So you guys know that I am from Columbus, Ohio. Yes, that's right. 614, stand up. Yes. It's like, nah, I don't even mess with the city for real. I'm just playing. I love Columbus. I feel like eventually I'm going to outgrow Columbus, but I truly enjoyed traveling from Columbus and going to do work and coming back. Like, that is so much fun. But unfortunately, I kind of feel like if I want to like really get into the scene, I'm gonna have to move eventually. But anyway, when I first started influencing back in 2025, ooh, girl, what? When I first started becoming an influencer back in 2015, I would post a lot of pictures on Instagram. Like, that's how it kind of started for me, between that and then YouTube. And y'all, I've always been very strategic about how I do things. I never really understood that it was a strategy per se back then, but looking back at it now, I was very strategic. Now, I could have went about it a little bit differently, but let me explain. So back in 2015, when I first started all of this and social media, like back before it was really a thing and really popping, because I've always been that girl, I was posting pictures like the other girlies in Columbus. And at the time, the other girlies in Columbus, do you think they look like me? The other influencers in Columbus, do you think they look like me? No. And so I knew what I needed to do to be in those rooms, right? Because L Brands is actually located here, which would be like your Bath and Body Works, your Victoria's Secrets, like them. Their headquarters is located here, and at the time they had a Bath and Body Works like influencer slumber party brand trip type of thing. And if you were there, let me know. But I do not remember there being like one Black girl at that event. And I wasn't there. I just saw it online. And then also there was like, if I remember correctly, like one white woman that I knew. They had outsourced from other states, which granted, like you are, but like for something to be hosted in Columbus, Ohio, like a place where like people don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't know what this place even is. Like that's really big. And it would have been cool if they had, you know, more Columbus girlies. But again, they didn't. And they definitely didn't have any Black representation. And so I was like, okay, I need to post so that I can be in these rooms and I can't do too much. And so the pictures, the type of content that I posted definitely was catering to the white community. I'm not gonna lie. The pictures that I used to post when I first started influencing catered to the white community. And I did that because the other black creators that were here, they weren't going to be in those rooms. They weren't going to get invited to those events, and they didn't. Because as time continued, I would go to events. I remember going to an event with Bumble, and I ended up inviting like a couple of friends so that I wouldn't be alone, because I knew that I was going to be the only black girl. And was I? Absolutely. I would literally, back in 2015, be the only black woman in these rooms. And it was because I posted content that like catered to the white community. And I knew that. But like, I also wanted that. Like, I wanted to be invited to the events. Like, I got invited to an event with Macy's. I ended up getting a sponsorship with Cadillac. Like, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. If I did not strategically do that, especially at that time, I wouldn't have been granted those opportunities. And it's not like I was sitting here like not being myself, because I was. But it's kind of like, you know how when you show up for work, you put on your professional voice and you're like, you know, hello, how can I help you? It was giving that. Like, it was definitely a more professional. I don't even want to call it a professional. Like, I'm not even going to call it that, because I don't want to say that like being black is unprofessional, because it's not. But like, the way that I showed up, I just felt like there was a time and a place for everything. And even at a younger age, y'all, I knew that like, if I want to do this, yeah, I can't just be on here acting crazy. And not even crazy, I can't just be on here like cussing. I can't just be on here dressing however I want to dress. I can't just like just do anything. I can't just talk with this like loud and bubbly personality, because it's going to be looked at as, girl, you do too much. And I feel like even now, like, that's what I get. Like, so funny story, I'm not going to put the brand out there, but what I will say is this is a brand that I have been wanting to work with for a while. And even back in like 2023, I ended up getting denied. And at the time, I just felt like, well, maybe it's because I don't do like that type of content, whatever the case may be, because my numbers were higher than the people's numbers that they worked with specifically in my area, right? And so whatever, but then I ended up pitching to them again, and then there was like a whole discrepancy on like, one person was saying that there was an opportunity, another person was saying that there wasn't. They told me to reach back out later on, so that's what I ended up doing. And again, basically, like, long story short, like, they don't want to work with me, but they want to put me on a PR list, but they don't want to work with me. And like, that's cool and all, but my friend was just basically saying like, well, you know, you show a lot of personality in your content. And like, I get it. My personality is not for everyone, and that's not what this video is about. Like, I understand that. But when it's clear as day that like, you're not getting chosen to work with a brand because of the color of your skin, because it's not just like I have this crazy ass personality that other people that don't look like me have, right? Like, I know that I'm bubbly. I know that I'll be like, hey, girl, and da 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 da. But at the same time, like, I'm not overly doing the most. I don't overly cuss. I don't overly like do all of that stuff. And it's just so funny to me how people will literally try to make it seem like, oh, well, you're just a lot, or you're just too much, or you're just whatever. And it's like, but then you look at their following and you see the people that they follow that literally have the same type of personality that you have, but a lighter skin complexion. Yeah, because we're going to clock it. I have been unfollowed by some people, and I just be like, ooh, girl, you didn't unfollow me just because you didn't like my type of content, because the people that you follow do my type of content. You unfollowed me because you felt like I was doing the most, right? And that's fine. But you really can't say that you don't like people that do the most when you follow this person, that person, and that person. You can't really say that like you unfollow me because like you're a Christian influencer, or you know, you're trying to follow your faith, and like I might cuss a little here and there when you follow this person, this person, and this person. And do they look like me? Clock it. Clock it. I'm just saying, like, how many of y'all, like, really be peeping this shit? Like, really be peeping it? Because it's like, damn, I sit here and, like, I am so strategic and I study things to a T of, like, okay, this person said this cuss word, but they have these brand deals, but, you know, but they also are accepted because, you know, by European beauty standards, like, it's acceptable for them to say a little cuss word here or there or whatever. But for me, I have to, like, watch it. And you know what? I'm just tired of having to watch my mouth all the time because, y'all, sometimes I do cuss. Like, girl, I am 29 years old. Like, I'm not about to sit here and be like, yes, and hello, and like, because I shouldn't have to. But I also shouldn't have to be looked at as being ratchet because I'm very far from it. I mean, I can get a little ratchet, you know what I'm saying? A little nasty, a little ratchet. I can get a little that. But I didn't even, like, grow up in that. And not that there's anything wrong with that. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, that's not even my personality. But it's just so funny how people will try to pin that on you, like, oh, you just have this big personality. And it's like, well, yeah, I know that I have a strong personality. But why is it that when it comes to a black woman, a woman of a darker skin complexion, it's almost frowned upon? No, it's not almost. It is frowned upon for us to have a bigger or a stronger personality. People use that as like an insult or a downfall. And you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to feel like I have to suppress who I am as a person just to get recognized. And, like, unfortunately, I've picked a career that, like, yeah, other people's opinions kind of matter because in order for me to get the brand deals that I want, it's based off of the community that I have. And it's based off of what other people think. Like, that's the career that I have. I have chosen to be in the entertainment field and I love it and I appreciate it. But it's like so hypocritical for somebody to sit here and be like, well, don't worry about what people think of you. Girl, that's how I get paid. I get paid based off of, you know, like based off of how people and what people think about me. Like, that is how I get paid. But like at the same time, yeah, I'm not about to sit here and like suppress who I am because of it. And that is what I am learning. And that is what I'm learning currently in this season, because I think that that's part of the reason why I don't show up. That's part of the reason why I don't show up how I feel like I should show up. And it's so funny because people will look at me and be like, girl, you don't show up, or girl, you're not consistent. Like, you look pretty consistent to me. But it's like, I could be so much more consistent, especially here on YouTube. Like, it is a goal of mine to post on Thursdays for the podcast and on Sundays for the vlogs. Like, I'm only giving myself 2 days out of the week to post. And girl, I can't even do that. I can't even do that because I'm like, well, what do people want to see? And like, how do I even show it? And then I have to show up in a certain way. And like, sometimes I just don't be caring. But when you start to see your money affected, yeah, you're going to care a little bit. You're going to care. You're going to care a little bit because it's like, all right, I have to tweak things and I have to figure out how to still be me while making it socially acceptable, if that makes sense. Like, how can I still be me? How can I still show who I am as a person, but still be marketable, you know? And I feel like I have done a very good job, and that is what I was telling my friend. I'm like, no, but when it comes to these types of videos, because I don't have a niche, okay? I don't have a specific niche. I am just me. I am just a girl that is just showing her life and showing her the sides of her that she wants y'all to see, because y'all don't see everything and you're not going to, okay? But I just get online and I show the things that like I want to show. I aspire to be, you know, inspiring to somebody out there that is just a regular person pushing and striving for their dreams, their goals. Like, they are living the life, or they want to push somebody to live their best life and do whatever it is that like you want to do, because you truly only get one life. But I'm very strategic about how I do certain videos, because I know that like certain things, I can't say certain things in certain videos, if you get what I'm saying. And so like, again, I'm just very strategic. But apparently for this one brand, it really doesn't matter. And not just for this one brand, but for multiple brands. And like, I'm seeing it firsthand. I'm seeing it play out. And yeah, sometimes it does sadden me. It saddens me to receive no's in general. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, girl, yeah, being told no don't feel good. Okay, like, no to who? Like, but I mean, like, it's part of the business, and it's just part of life, right? Like, receiving a no is part of life. But when you receive a no based off of what you know is racism, based off of what you know is colorism, like, that shit hurts even more. Like, it does. And if somebody is on here saying that it doesn't, no, it does. Because it's like, damn, I have to work not 10 times, not 100 times, like 1,000 times harder just to even, like, get in the room. You feel me? Like, I have to work 1,000 times harder just to get on the PR list because you don't want to pay me, but you want my platform. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just is so draining. It's so draining, y'all. It's so draining. I know that a lot of people feel like, you know, when they are like the only Black woman invited to an event, they feel like, you know, they're just inviting you so that they can check off the diversity box in their like campaign, right? And so one of the most recent events that I went to would have been the mansion party. The $78 million mansion party? I actually was invited to that. Oh my gosh, I was just so grateful to even be invited. But there was so much negativity that was surrounding that event, which was just so crazy because a lot of it was coming from people that weren't even influencers. Like, oh, I just want to be seen so bad. Yeah, girl. Yeah, actually, I do want to be seen because that's my job. Okay. Yeah, I do. Anybody else want to be seen? I do, actually. Like, but people be making it seem like you're just pressed. And I get it. Like, there are some events to where it is like, okay, you just invited like one Black girl. Like, one. I am the only one. I'm the only Black woman in this room. But when it came to the $78 million mansion party, I really don't feel like that was the case. And I feel like the marketing team realized that, okay, like, we want to expand, and that was their way of doing it. Unfortunately, you're going to get some backlash in that, but I mean, that event was such an amazing event, and I was just so grateful to be in the room with some of the people that, like, I watch online, and I'm like, damn, like, I am good enough to be here. I didn't feel like that was one of the events, because I done been to plenty of them. I didn't feel like that was one of the events where I was just like a token Black girl or anything like that. I really truly felt like my presence was wanted and that I was supported, and I met so many amazing women, not just even Black or white, because apparently that was the only people that was on TikTok, you know, talking. But I met so many amazing women, and I was just so grateful for the opportunity, because I want to be flexible. Like, I pride myself on being flexible at everything that I do, from sports to the type of content I do. I have never been a niche girl. From the type of hair that I wear, like, I can't just stay in one box. That's just not how I operate. And so, you know, I love getting brand deals from Black-owned brands and being around my people, and being recognized by Black brands and being around Black entrepreneurs, you know, other people that had to get it out the mud, because, y'all, we had to get it out the mud. I'm talking about in it, like, but I also want to be around brands and people that are not Black either. Like, I don't want to just be in a box, but I do want to be where I am appreciated, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like that was one of the events where it was like, okay, like, I'm in here, even though it was a lot of negativity surrounding it, you're hearing it from a person that was there, a Black girly that was there, that I really did feel included. I really did feel love. I really did feel value. I felt like somebody saw my content and was like, yeah, we want that girl. We want her to be here because we like her. We mess with her. Like, and that's always good. Like, it's great coming from, you know, the outside. You're wanted in this space, and not just because we just got to check off a box, but because your content is good and because we see you. Okay, so let's talk about the pay and the opportunity gaps, because girl, it's there. And I've already talked a little bit about it, but let's dive deeper. The emotional toll of knowing you might be getting paid less than a white or a light skinned girly. Y'all, this happens all the time. Now listen, I'm not saying that I have the biggest platform. I'm not saying that I have, you know, the most following, the most views by any means. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm in some of the girls' close friends, okay? And I know the girls is getting paid. And again, it is just so funny to me. It really is comedy, because when you're confident in yourself and you can clock that T, like, you can really see it. But that's just how the world works. Unfortunately, like, here we are. And who am I to just be sitting here trying to waste all of my energy, waste all of my breath to try to change your mind when you don't want to change it. You don't want to learn. Like, I'm not about to sit here and like beg you to see my point of view when you don't want to see it. It is what it is. The facts is here. You know what I'm saying? So yes, do I feel like I get paid a lot less than some of the light-skinned girlies? Yes. And I'm going to speak on it because I feel like ain't nobody spoke on it for real. And this is no shade to any light-skinned girly that's out there killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am happy for you. I still consider you as a part of the black community. But I'm just saying that, like, let's be so fucking for real. We be so happy that we have black representation in the rooms, but the black representation be light skinned. The black representation that we have when it comes to the influencer space, the girlies that are really killing it, be light skinned. Are they still black? Yes. And am I happy for them? Yes. I am happy for them. I'm rooting for them. I follow the girls, okay? Like, I do. But what I'm telling you is that the black representation that we have in the influencer space of the girls that are killing it are light skinned. And the truth is the truth. And I know that you're probably arguing, well, they have better numbers. Well, they work hard. And like, you're right. They do have better numbers and they do work hard. Like, you're not wrong. But at the same time, let's really dive in deep. Why do they have better numbers? Y'all not hearing me. And it's not all the time. Like, it's not, I'm not saying like, because y'all about to be on here talking about, oh, she just bitter and black. No, I'm not. But I'm real. And I see a lot of darker skinned black women that are making the same type of content that don't even have 1 million on TikTok. I see black girls that, for example, created dances like Kiki. She just created, well, not she just created, but she created the Savage dance, right? She got invited to Dancing with the Stars. That's amazing. She was on Good Morning America. That's amazing. She did get invited, but Charli D'Amelio was the person that was performing the dance. Look at Charli D'Amelio's following on TikTok and look at Kiki's. Now, granted, that's a black woman and then a white woman, but you hear what I'm saying. Same applies in the black community. It's like you'll have a light-skinned woman and then you'll have a dark-skinned woman, and the dark-skinned woman can't even pull those views. Why? Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. And you don't have to. Just go look. Just go do your research. Like, take two similar creators and look at the following. The algorithm is going to push what the algorithm wants to push. So when you're fighting against the algorithm, when you're fighting against the brands, at this point, you got to work your ass off just to be seen because you're not popping up on their screen. Like, Y'all, it is so much deeper. So it's like, well, I mean, you're just not working hard enough. Who not working hard enough? Who, me? I'm not working hard enough. There are some people that's not working hard, but I know what I do. I know what I get up and do. Hell, I'm filming this podcast. Well, right now it's 7:08 in the morning, but we've been filming for about an hour. I had to get up early, you know what I'm saying, do my hair, do my makeup. Who not working hard? Who's not working hard? Girl, I'm working hard. And not only that, but I don't got no management. So I be consistent on TikTok. I be consistent on Instagram. I was going to say I'll be consistent on YouTube, but more consistent than what a lot of people be. I'm the creative director. Who's setting up the camera? Me. Who's setting up the studio stuff? Me. Who reaching out to the brands? Because the brands ain't reaching out to me. Who fighting the brands? Who's fighting the contacts? Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all not hearing me. And it's cool because you know what? When I really do make it, I'm going to be able to say, no, I really started from the bottom and I worked my ass off. And I feel like, you know, that's cliche. Everybody can say, well, I worked my ass off. But, like, there's nothing like making it and being like, yeah, I'm here. And none of y'all wanted me to be here. But I'm here. I'm still here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm in this room with you. And I had to work 10 times harder to get here. Do you hear me? That's why the $78 million mansion party really was truly such an honor, and it really woke me up. Like, it was an experience that I'll never forget because guess what? I'm still here. Like, I'm here despite everything that I have to go through. I'm here despite all of the no's that I get told. I am here. I was able to afford to be here. Do you hear me? Like, that shit feels so amazing. And I'm sure it feels amazing to everybody because everybody works hard. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess not everybody. Let me stop playing. But, like, people work hard to get where they are. Even if it's just picking up the camera and recording or streaming, like, every single day for hours upon hours. People are still showing up. But all I'm saying is ain't nothing like a black woman overcoming and being in them rooms, okay? Because, y'all, we gotta work 10 times harder. Like, it is what it is. The facts are the facts. Like, it is what it is. Like, yeah. Like, do I feel like I get paid less? Yeah, I do. And I feel like, or not at all, especially in Columbus. Like, they invite you to stuff like new restaurants or invite you, and it's like a grand opening. Okay, cool. But if you want me to sit down and do a whole review on your restaurant, you won't have to pay. And they don't want to pay. They want to give you free stuff. And, like, free is cool. Like, sometimes, depending on what it is. But, like, run me my money because you want my platform. You understand? Like, you want me to tell people about your business, but you don't want to pay me to do it. And then for some brands that do want to pay, they want to pay you pennies. This brand that reached out to me for a product that I absolutely love and still use. Like, am I still going to use them? Yes. But do you know what they wanted to pay me? Like, over 50% less than what I asked for. Over 50%. Do you hear me? This brand wanted to pay me over 50% less than what I asked for. And when I went to follow up, they said, oh, we'll be in touch. And I went to follow up again, and they said, oh, we'll be in touch. Do you think they ever got back to me? No, they didn't. And it sucks because, like, that would have been such a great opportunity. I was like, what? How did you find me? What? Just for y'all to not want to pay nothing. Put in your budget. Put in your marketing budget. Let me tell you something, for all of the companies out there, marketing wise, Don't put all your money into a billboard. Don't put all your money into commercials. You better put all your money into influencer marketing, because that's who's going to get you the coin. That's who's going to get you the coin. How do you start a business and have marketing but don't want to pay the influencers? Please. Your business will not be up for very long. So anyway, the last thing that I just wanted to talk about was how I am able to cope with this. And I think one of the things that I'm able to do is to like clean my timeline to see what it is that like I want to see. Like, you know, positivity, which is another reason why like I'm not really talking about the drama and like the headlines anymore. Although I like to like say my opinion about stuff, and not just say my opinion, but learn from situations. I like to learn from everything that I do, right? I'm an overthinker, so like I'll think about something and then I'll be like, well, what lesson can I learn from this so I don't have to go through this? Or maybe it is something positive and it's like, okay, well, how can I apply this to myself? So I'm always literally doing that. But I didn't want to, like, I knew how that would be perceived, right? It, like, especially being that I'm a darker skinned black woman, I knew how that would be perceived. So I am trying to pivot in the way that, like, I talk about things. But yeah, like, clearing off, like, the shade room, like, just all the craziness, because that was like a little bit too consecutive. Now, do I still watch little things? Yes, I do. Like, I still watch Queen Chama, I still watch Yanni, like, but I feel like they are like-minded individuals. Like, they don't just be talking and spilling tea. Like, I feel like there are some that like be just spilling tea. I'm not like really just like a tea girl. Like, I like to think through things and situations, and you know. So that would be like one thing that I feel like I do to like cope with things. And as of right now, like, I'm not really doing the best at coping with anything, because I be sitting on my ass and crying and trying to figure out, well, what do I do now? But after I get done with that, you know, I do go and I get my hair done. I go and get my nails done. I do go and get my lashes done. I try to, you know, clean up my house and make it feel good, make it smell good. You know what I'm saying? Shower at my favorite stuff. Put on my favorite perfume. And then I remember I'm that girl. And I remember I've always been that girl. And, you know, it's just a little setback for a major comeback. Like, I'm not cocky or nothing, but I do feel like my content is one of a kind. And I mean, am I a matcha girl? Yes. But I've been a matcha girl, because I know people are talking about how they're tired of like the clean girl aesthetics. Let me tell you something. My grandma passed away in 2019. She been a matcha girl, okay? She been had matcha powder, except she would put it in her smoothies. So that's something that's tea. She would put matcha powder in her smoothies. And this is like when I was in high school, y'all. So I've been a matcha girly. Like, okay, although I love a good aesthetic, I'm not too good for anything, and I don't feel like I am. So like, I feel like that's what's different about me. Like, I'm not somebody that's like into designer bags per se, but I love a good clean girl aesthetic. But I'll be the first one to, you know, wear stuffed animals on my shoes. Like, I just feel like I'm not in one niche, and that is what separates me from everybody else. Like, and I just remember that. And I just try to look at it as like a good thing. You know, I can relate to a lot of people. A lot of people do see me for who I am, see me for the content that I put out. You know, people respect my grind. I feel like I'm a pretty relatable person. Like, I just put out my life, and I kind of have cracked down the code of how I want to, you know, put it out and what I want to share and what I don't want to share. And I just have to remember and like look at my accomplishments. Like, girl, you got your first brand trip this year. Like, and that was something that was on your vision board. Like, and girl, you did that. You traveled out of the country this year. And like, girl, that was the first time you did that. Like, and you did it. So I just try to remember the things that like I once didn't have, and I said that I wanted, and I accomplished it. It just didn't look like how I thought it was going to look. And maybe I should have been a little bit more specific, but at the same time, my journey is going to be different than everybody else's. And I just have to like remember that and then surround myself around loving and caring people every day. And that is something that has been helpful as well. Just finding my tribe, finding my community in my real life, because at the end of the day, the people that know you online, they don't know you for real. They don't see you cry. They don't see you when you look a mess. They don't see you when you down. You know, like you can't call on them to be like, girl, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. You can't do that. So just really surrounding yourself with a community, and that has been like a tremendous help, because y'all, I had so many fake people in my life, like so girl, these people, I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful that God said to the back, 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 because girl, so now I'm just so grateful. I am truly grateful. I'm truly blessed, and that's what I have to keep remembering. Like, I didn't used to be here, and right now, like, you're out here and you're doing big things. Like, Taylor, you are doing big things. Like, Taylor, you are somebody. You are. Like, and I know it, but sometimes I forget it. But then I gotta get up, boss up, and remember that, yeah. I'm being so serious. Like, this is how I talk to myself. If you guys watch my vlogs, this is how I talk to myself. This is it. This is how I be like, girl, pick that ass up. And sometimes, you know, in the heat of the moment, like, I do be a little heated, because I'm not going to lie. Baby girl got a temper, especially in basketball. And I have been wanting to show you guys that side of me. But I see how y'all be on Angel Reese's head. And to be quite honest, like, I'm not interested. But Angel, if you are watching, I would love to sit down and interview you and have a talk with you, which is another reason why I want to like kind of like show my basketball world, because I feel like, again, I'm not in one niche. Like, people do not know that I play basketball. People wouldn't look at my stuff and think that I play basketball, but I really want to kind of like dibble and dabble in the basketball world and kind of like get to interview them and just see like what they feel like they experience. And I feel like Angel is obviously not the first to do it, but I feel like it's been broadcasted so heavily, and I would love to sit down and like hear her perspective of how it is being a black woman, being that girl, and being a black woman, having to deal with the stuff that she has to deal with in the WNBA or just in the press in general. Like, yeah. So it's like, oh, she got an attitude. Yeah, you're damn right she got an attitude. She got attitude because she's pissed the fuck off. And I would be too. Like, I would be pissed off too, because ain't no way. I mean, and part of it is just like how she played, but like people be playing with her and then like want to be passive aggressive. And it's just so crazy, because I don't care what nobody say. Being passive aggressive is just as worse as being physically aggressive. And I know people are going to deny me. I can't believe I'm on the internet saying it. But I'm just saying that if you are going to be passive aggressive, just know that it could potentially be met with physical aggression. I'm not saying that either one is right, but I'm not saying that passive aggressiveness is lower than being aggressive. It's not. I think that they're at the same level. I know by society, you know, if you put your hands on somebody, that's worse. And that people will argue passive aggressiveness is just freedom of speech. But all I'm saying is, if you get that ass whacked because you was being passive aggressive, I can't feel sorry for you. I cannot feel sorry for you. The people that be doing the public interviews and they be taunting people, like, y'all gonna be like, control your emotions. I'm personally not gonna whack you, because like I said, I've never been in a fight. I do have self-control. But what I'm saying is, if you passive aggressive, so much so to the point, like, and you get whacked, I don't feel bad for you. I don't know. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what other topics you guys would like for me to talk about. I just wanted to come on here and like share my experiences, and I've been planning this for the past 3 weeks, and so I feel like I was kind of all over the place, but we're going to get a better flow of everything because I'm going to be more consistent. And once I'm more consistent, like, I will be more comfortable on camera, and I'll be able to like say what it is, everything that I want to say and how I want to say it. But I'm just so jumbled and my mind is so fried. I just want to share one of the reasons why I feel the way that I feel. And I feel like it's sometimes hard for me to show up. Sometimes it's hard for me to come on here and just put on a smile when I'm actually not feeling good and I don't know what to say and I don't want to be judged. But I kind of want to be judged, but don't want to be judged. You know, like, it's just hard. It's hard. But we're going to overcome it, and you guys are going to see it firsthand. Let me know if you've ever dealt with this. I know if you Black, you dealt with this, period. Like, if you're of any minority, you have. Even if you're a woman, you've dealt with it, just not in a sense of like being Black, but like being a woman, like having the odds against you, getting paid less, like having to work 10 times harder. Like, it sucks, period. Like, but we got to look at it as it feels so good when you do get acknowledged, and just know that you're that girl, because another one could never, okay? Could nobody ever walk in your shoes, period, because they're your shoes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my chaotic Let's Talk About It Baby episode. Make sure you leave in the comments below what else you want to see me talk about, but just also your experiences of this, okay? I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all next week. Okay, love you, bye.